वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Welcome to the Sikh Youth Show on Sky Channel 829. This is the Sikh channel. Each and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. we have a great platform for the Sikh Youth Show where we talk about some of the subjects that you, the Sangat, want us to discuss, some of the issues that affect us in the community, and some of the great events and the prachar that goes on within the Sangat and the events up and down the country. Today we've got a fantastic show and a great panel. We've got Kam Singh from the Sikh channel. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I've got Kaur, a volunteer for Sikh Youth UK. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. And we've got Kabir Singh, another volunteer. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So today's show, we have got a great lineup. We're going to be talking about some of the live updates and cases, so stay tuned. So before I give you the update of what we're planning on the show today, send a message to all your friends and family straight away. Let them know to tune in now. We're going to be discussing some of the live updates and cases that you've been seeing that our team's been dealing with. We're going to be talking about a great smargam next weekend by Kam Singh and the Sikh channel team. We're also going to be discussing how Kaur helps the team with mental health issues and supporting people within the community who are suffering from this, or where to signpost them in the right direction to professionals. If it's just Sangat they need, if it's a professional team they need and body behind them. So she'll be updating you on that and how that's been going ever since she's been a volunteer for Sikh Youth. And Kabir is going to be talking about some of the cases and the training day that we had at the weekend. Sikh Youth UK did a training day and it was really good response, so we'll be updating on that. But first of all, I want to go into the live updates, and it's really important that some of you guys out there understand what goes on day to day. And over the last few weeks, we've been going live a lot on social media, so you can see some of the cases that we've been working on and going to visit and seeing some of the issues and what families are going through. So I'm going to bring Kabir straight in. We're going to discuss some of the live updates, and Kabir, just let the viewers and the Sangat know, like, you know, where are some of these cases based? Like, what is it, a specific area, or is it like widespread, you know, with these issues of grooming?
So the issue of grooming is widespread, and after the Saka Sirhan project, we've been inundated with cases up and down the country. Some of the areas I'll just go into briefly for the viewers. Huddersfield, we've had a few cases from that sort of area. Also the Sandwell area close to home, Birmingham, you know, London, phenomenal response, West London, you know, a lot of issues there coming forward. So as you can imagine, our team it's a really important time. That's why we need Servadas to come on board and sometimes help out if you've got skill sets, just to add to the team. This is fundamental, because sometimes, for example, some of us work, so it's a side. For example, I work, so I can't make some cases some days. So this is why we need a backup for people that can. If you've got the skill set, such as social workers, you're at university doing this, it's fundamental you get involved.
Yeah, definitely. More professionals on board, the better. The more people with experience on this and listening to this. You know, just being a good listener and understanding people and working out what the best solution is. Is it to bring somebody away from a certain area and show them a bit more support in a different area where she's got full access to just living her life normally, rather than cooped up in a situation, you know,
which we've done, Dipavaji, with quite a few of the cases recently. We've had to actually relocate a lot of the cases from the problem areas to get them into just new Sangat. I think Sangat's key here. We need Sangat makes an individual. For example, if you're hanging around in a bad environment all the time, you're going to turn out like them people. Whereas if you instill yourself with positivity, for example, like Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smedhik has been doing with the forums weekly on Fridays, that is a positive environment. The Guru Nanak Gurdwara, the kickboxing classes that the Sikh Youth UK boys do as well on the Wednesday, Amar Singh, Tuesdays and Thursdays, sorry. Yeah, that's also a very good positive atmosphere. You're being with Singhs there is positive. You get to meet new individuals as well. universities, schools, and you might be helping some other kids out who are going through problems at schools.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's a good help.
Definitely, it's important that organisations link in with Gurdwara. This is what I was going to say. So, like within Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smedek, I know Cam's eager to say something and put input here because it's really important. But Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smedek never say no to the youth, and it's fantastic. So, like on, if we relocate someone from a certain area and bring them to Birmingham, they have access to Monday Simran, on Tuesday the sports boxing. Wednesdays, obviously, we have the Sikh Youth Show, so we try and get people on the show, or we're trying to engage them into doing Seva. Thursdays, boxing again, and Fridays, a forum. Weekend, there's always programs and events anyway. So, you know, Smedek's just one base, and it's a great plug and hub, however you want to call it, for the Sangat and the youth to come and get involved. Every day, something different, which is brilliant. I think Saturdays, there's one of the Sikh Youth UK classes, kickboxing classes, has been going on for nearly 5 years. So this is our 5-year anniversary. And, you know, for 5 years, that's been going in hand with the 5-day forum. So, you know, just touch on some of how important it is, like you said about Sangat, but let me bring Cam into this because he knows the importance and he's been working and dealing with these issues for so many years. How important is it to have a decent plug and hub like Smedek Gurdwara, and where that should be replicated across the country?
No, I think that you've basically hit the nail on the head. I'm going to lie to you. First of all, thank you to the Sikh Youth team, because you're doing fantastic work out there, helping and engaging the community with their problems and giving them the support mechanism that we should have had a long time ago. So you're doing that, and I'm sure Maharaj Girpadanal, the Sangat I'm watching, are going to be supporting you. And the success of the training day was a response, direct response after Saka Sarhand, after the promotion of create that awareness of what Sikh Youth UK do. How many people want to get involved? Everyone wants to get involved. Everyone wants to make the community stronger and better, and that's brilliant. And every single person has a different skill set. And as long as those skill sets are used for the betterment of the community, we should provide those platforms. And this brings me to the second point, where the Gurdwara Sahib is acting along with the Sangat as the hub. It is the community hub. That's what it was created for originally, the community hub. So all those community needs are dealt with within the Gurdwara Sahib. And this is the third point I want to touch upon, is what you said, Paji, talking about the Sangat. Maharaj tells us time and time again, and they refer to in the Sangat, why the Sangat is so important, like in Saat Sangat Milking No Dan. All the things that you're going to get from the Sangat. And if you have the right people around you, the right positivity around you, you are less likely to fall into a downward spiral, go into bad things or bad habits if you have the right people. But because this is what Sikh Youth UK are doing, and this is one example, and I think it needs to be replicated, like you said. It does need to be replicated across the country, where each town has a network like yourselves that focuses and works along with the Gurdwara Sahib, and then meets the needs of the community. And that's what you're doing. You're meeting the needs. And this is great, because this is Satsang. This is exactly what we're talking about. You know, with the mental health at the moment affects 1 in 4 people. Either you will be affected, or you will know someone who will be affected by it. So because it's such a big bimari, how do you deal with it? What are the telltale signs? And the Sangat, it comes back to that same thing, the Sangat. So if you keep in the Sangat, you've got it. And this is why it's so important. And this is why, knowing that, this is why we, on the 27th of January, this month, right, is a Saturday. So it's not this Saturday, the Saturday after. 27th of January, every single person watching needs to note this diary and needs to attend. Why do you need to attend this? It's going to be an Ekta Samagam. Okay, there's going to be Ekta Samagam, so we're going to have Jathe from all across the community, everybody coming together, right? Different Sikh organisations. If I mention the list, it goes on, and everybody coming together. And this is the most important part of this of this particular Ekta Samagam. Although we're going to have Tadi, Kirtan, Kvishri, Katha, those things go hand in hand. But one thing that's going to happen right in the middle of the Samagam is we're going to do a Chope Sauda part, just one. We're going to do one Chope Sauda part. But why is this one Chope Sauda part so important? Because you know how we're going to do it? We're all going to sit together, every single one of us, all these different organisations, regardless of what logos we have on our shirts and all the rest of it. You're going to sit together in Maharaj Hazuri, in the laps of our father, yeah, and we're going to all in sync in what is termed Sangat Roop, right? We're going to all do the Chope Sauda together. Not only that, but if, let's just say, people said, oh, well, I've never done a Chope Sauda before, I don't know how to do one. Check this out. It's going to be done in Santhya Roop. So the Singh or Singhni and the Tabia is going to lead, right? and we're going to follow.
Yeah.
So one pankti after pankti, the Sangat together are going to listen, repeat together. And do you know what this does? You know, that spiritual, because Maharaj is inside all of us, God is inside all of us. When we're talking about Gurbani, when we're talking about Akaal Purkh themselves, that syncs all of us, and that calibration that needs to take place between the community, it takes place. So although these groups might not work together today, but deep down, if we sync it,
the seed, isn't it?
the seed's there.
Yeah.
So holy, our certainly goes back to Maharaj. And what we'll do, instead of our group thinking, oh, what are these guys doing? No, listen, I'll tell you what, if you guys are doing this, we tried this, it didn't work, but these are our best tips, take them with you. Because this, longer someone succeeds in helping our community, that's what we're here for.
That's it.
And this is what's going to happen on the 27th of January of this year. At 6 p.m, it's going to be Sej Parta Pog, right? There's going to be Aarti Arta, right? And then the Kirtan Smagam starts. And then we're going to do a Chope Sada Parch together. So all I can say is, look, remember what that one thing? Those families that pray together, stay together. It is simple as that. Now imagine if you brought all your family with this. It's going to be a one-time experience where you're going to be sitting in the congregation of the Sad Sangat, in Maharaj Di Hazuri, and you're going to do part together in Maharaj Di Hazuri, even if you've never done Chopesar before. That's going to be something, and that experience you'll never be able to take away.
That's fantastic. So look, Sangat, you heard it here first. Always on the Sikh channel, the first updates and live updates of big events and major projects. The Unity Ekta Smagam next Saturday, the 27th at Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smadik. Sej Path, Pog, Ramb, the Ramb and the Kirtan and Taddi all evening. It'll be fantastic. If your organisation wants to be part of this, get hold of the Sikh channel, get hold of our organisation. Anyone who's part of organising this, and you can be part of that, more than welcome. Our doors are always open, 4 doors are open all the time.
Exactly.
I would really get involved. Let your family and friends know if you just want to pop in for the evening. It'll be fantastic. What a great way to start off January 2018. You know, bringing some unity in the start of the year, and by the end of the year there could be, you know, 100 times more bigger unity events.
Exactly.
So that's what it is. It's about starting the year on a positive high. In Sangat group, doing bath together, praying together. What more can we ask for? What a fantastic project. Well done, Cam. Really good. Really good idea. Really good project, and always have come up with great ideas. Supporting the Sangat, and again, as we were talking about issues, it brings those people who have issues to a bit of peace sometimes. Maybe they might find someone there that they can connect to and help them and guide them in life. So, you know, brilliant idea. After, obviously, we've spoken about some of the updates, so I want to talk about, now we're going to discuss some of the training day that we had a training day. We've just touched upon it at the weekend. So last year, Sikh Youth UK did 2 training days up and down the country, one in Birmingham, one in London. This year, we were going to do it in December, previous last year, we were going to do it in December, but because of the Sakha Sirhan project, we had to delay it a few weeks so we could focus on that and help support that project, and we did so because that was another unified event. We did it, and this has come on the back of all the university talks we've done in October and November, where we covered, how many universities did we cover, Kabir?
Must have covered. We were going up and down the country.
Up and down the country every day, you know, literally me and him were living in the car together.
Yeah, we were, weren't we?
Yeah. So I remember we covered like 30 talks in 25 days along that, something like that. It was so many. Some days we had 2 talks. You know, it was crazy. And we covered so much. And you know, after that Dangers in Modern Society talk, how many volunteers came forward was absolutely amazing. So we created a database and we emailed all of them, and we followed up with, after the Sakha Sirhan project, a lot of people more supported the events and issues that were brought to light via Sikh channel. So now we did this training day on Saturday, and I think we had nearly 100 fresh faces in that room that you wouldn't have seen. People coming from Slough, Liverpool. It was fantastic, you know, so many different people. As you can see the images on the screen now, it was based at the lecture theatre at Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smadik again. It was brilliant, and you know, we had the Pradhan of the Gurdwara, Jatinder Singh, who always supports us, and he told the new volunteers how important it is for organisations like ourselves to link in with the Gurdwara. He also said about some of the welfare support we do in the committee, and some of our sevadars who are volunteers in the committee, obviously. We had So Kiran, you were there, Benji, so you just let the viewers know what was going on and how did you find the training day for January?
It was a really good event, so there were different workshops on as well, so there's a place on the team for everyone.
Yeah, Kabir, any feedback, how important was that training day?
It was really good for unity as well. Some people you haven't seen, like so for example the London Servitors, for them to come down and touch base with them on some of the work they've been doing, it's really good, and it's fresh energy, isn't it? They've come down, and it creates that team atmosphere as well. I think that's very important to do that, and even for the new members to show that positivity as well, the new volunteers, and also we have some great presentations as well from the likes of Amrit, GURPS together.
Yeah,
so some of these guys that have been involved deep in the cases to shed some light on their findings, really,
definitely,
and what would help them.
Of course, and the new volunteers camp, how important is it to have, like, on the back of organisations, and sometimes you just see the same faces coming up over the year, so it's important for organisations to 100%, bring in 100%. Fresh faces, and like obviously there were 7 different workshops going on. There was one on public speaking, one on writing, one on the welfare, one on social media, one on admin, one on general media, and one on sports. So 7 different workshops going on at the same time, and everyone who signed up, they were all part of different workshops. So they had the full attention of that focus, what they want to be part of our organisation with, to do. So any feedback on that, Cam?
No, luckily I didn't get a chance to go to this one, but I did go to the one last year, and I know exactly how the process works. So it's great, because what you're doing is, again, you're engaging the community, and you're not only engaging the community, you're allowing individuals to develop and allowing them to partake in seva that they want to get involved in. That's brilliant, because you're giving the opportunity, which is key here, and empowerment. You're giving them a confidence, you're giving them a structure, you're giving them a mechanism of support, you're allowing them to grow. And all these things are happening on the back of the work that you're already doing. So if you think about it, it's absolutely great. And it's not only that, you've got all sorts there. You haven't just Amritaris, you got Sair studies, you got Munna Sikhs, everybody together, but there's no judgment between the two. Exactly, because we're all in this together. We all understand that, and that's why we allow everyone to develop and give them the support, because there's going to be certain people there that are brilliant writers. There's going to be people there that can do talking. There are people there that can do design posters, make promos, background work. People there that can type up and make all these research. People like doing research, make the research papers to show the evidence where our community needs help, what we can do, key tips, what we can then share. All of this is regurgitating stuff that is in our community in a format that people can then relate to and then grasp. So we need to now look at the older community, the up and coming generations, saying, okay, the needs of our older community are slightly different to what the new generation need. And so how do you cater for both? How do you cater for all?
You have to engage both.
Exactly. Engaging them is key. Having them involved is the best practice. Getting them involved. Not necessarily saying you're taking over, but get them involved. Allow them to see what the problem is, because like you said, Budgie, the fresh energy and the fresh ideas always helps, because as soon as you have fresh ideas, you allow that system to circle around. That's exactly what it is.
And that's the only way the organisation is going to move forward further.
Yeah, 100%. And while I've got this chance, I just want to go out there and thank some of our volunteers who spent day and night making sure that event went successful. One of them, Harveen Kaur from Leicester, and her sister Pia Kaur, they spent a lot of time making sure the administration and the workshops all ran smoothly, the Eventbrite page was up and running, and making sure everything went smoothly. All the Sevadars from Jazz, from Sikh PA, Amrit and GURPS, Shamsher Singh, Cam Singh, everyone who helped support that event, but definitely all the workshops that went place, all the people that put effort and time into that, Surinder Singh, Amar Singh, they spent hours doing PowerPoint. Everyone who put efforts in to you guys out there, without you guys, these sort of events wouldn't happen, and without the Sangat supporting, this wouldn't happen. But just to give recognition to those who did do that effort,
100%.
from the whole team, it's fully appreciated, and you know, all your families and friends should know how much dedication. It's not just Deepa or Kabir or Kiran or Cam just running around doing things. There is a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that no one knows, like Jeevan Kaur, like Amrita, the London team, Gurpreet Singh, you know, a lot of people put in time and effort that people don't see. We've got our Derby team, Raj and Jati, Raj from Burton and Jati Singh from Derby, and they also do a lot of activities in Guru Arjan Dev Gurdwara Derby. The London team solely based in Singh Sabha, Barking and East London at Seven Kings, so they do a lot there. So our organisations are heavily linked in with Gurdwara, but I just want to thank those Sevadars because they spent a lot of time making sure that happened. So a big shout out to them while we were on the back of the talking about the training day. Kiran, like, you know, what other feedback? Obviously there was a lot of females in that room on Saturday, and a lot of it's really difficult to express how we're trying to say, you know, in the Sangat, when you look at events or you go to Gurdwara on a Sunday, you very rarely see young female girls in the Diwan, and it is a problematic issue. People are finding it that their kids are at home and they're not getting involved in the Gurdwara. Maybe they find it boring, they're not finding it interactive. And how do we engage those? Like, this volunteer workshop was fantastic because there was a lot of females there. So, and a lot of them will be messaging after to come forward. So how can we make that grow?
I mean, continue what we're already doing as well, and welcome everyone with open arms. You know, not judge anyone, which we're doing as well. Just continue doing that.
Kam Singh, how do you think we can progress that and take that even further? Do you think, like, obviously that's a start, but with the training day, do you think we should do it more regularly?
No, 100%. You need to do it more regularly. There needs to be like if not quarterly, at least bi-monthly, something happening where you engage and calibrate between the Sevadars, share best practices, allow people to tell their problems. You know, there are going to be time restraints, there's going to be resource problems, there's going to be loads of problems. Allow them to vent those through, and allow them then to develop, this is what we did, share those best practices and engage and keep getting help. But not only that, you know, I was just sitting there thinking, all the Sangat that I probably wanted to go to this, probably weren't even aware of it. How can they now contact you guys to say, look, you know, actually I can help out with the grooming, I'm a good listener, I have this social background, I'm psychology, whatever it might be, that they can help, and whether it's writing, whether it's with the PR, whether it's with the social media, whether it's with driving around, because there's a lot of driving around involved in this, so how can people watching this right now say, where do I go for more information, where would you direct them?
Okay, so first of all, I'll say we've got a 24-hour and 7-day-a-week helpline, which is 07761 251 840. You can contact that. Obviously, there's volunteers answer it, so if they don't respond straight away, just leave a message and somebody will get back straight away. Or you can go on our social media sites, Facebook, Sikh Youth Birmingham or Sikh Youth UK, Instagram, Sikh Youth UK, Twitter, Sikh Youth UK, Snapchat, Sikh Youth UK, or you can email us at info@sikhyouthuk.com. So there are all the contact details. Any other input on the training day, and what, you know, maybe, like, obviously we were brainstorming with some Sevadars yesterday. We're thinking about putting a course together, a 6-week course talking about mental health, talking about grooming, like the workshops, talking about alcohol and drugs, and some of the other taboo issues.
Definitely. But the question, I want to go back to that question you asked me originally before I sort of diverted it. However, coming back to the scenario where we're trying to engage young people to come back into the Gurdwara, the people have to relate and interact. Is the word you really hit the nail on the head, is interact. If an individual, why do you keep going to the gym? Because you can see the results, right? So if you're working out, you can see holy. As you can see, I don't work out.
You do.
I did hang out. That indicates, but those people that do go to the gym, I'm sure when they're working out, they can see keep getting the results, and as a result, that's like, it's something, I'm doing something here. So that encourages them more, right? It's the same way with your parai, your tuition, whatever you're doing something, you're seeing a result, and you're going further. If our Nojwan are going to the Gurdwara Sahib and they're not spiritually developing, right, and there's no kitch or jar to go back, that means we've done something wrong. Not that the case that the Gurbani is not going through, it's the case that we haven't allowed them to understand where to sit, how to do Mathatik. Why are you doing Mathatik? Who are you doing Mathatik to? How will we engage them? And this is where the forums act in that special that mechanism. It allows for young people to might have a question in regards to whatever it might be that's stopping them getting closer to their guru, those forums were a way to allow individuals to express their concern, but then speak to like-minded individuals who they could relate to, because being in the same peer group and all the rest of it, age, getting in school, whatever it might be, allow them to ask the question and then for you to answer it. That's the whole reason why the forum was set up in the first place. That's when we set it up. This is why, because it wanted to engage the community, because we're all like this. None of us give us a order that I've got the right to, I have to come and sit here and do this, you've got the right to do this. We're all doing this because we feel a jar. We've obviously experienced something. Do you understand that? Experience is the key. We've experienced something and now we're trying to share it with the world. Definitely. So look guys, we've experienced this, I want you to go and check it out. See it for yourself. I can sit here, Deepak can sit here, Kaur can sit here, Kiran can sit here, we can talk all we want. But until you experience what that connection is, what's going to keep getting you back there again and again and again and again. Everything else is like a support mechanism to that. So we should encourage youngsters, especially if you're watching and you're thinking, okay, you know, our Sikh Youth Forum in Kaur, we used to have over 100 people every week. Kuriya Monday, and it used to be a 50-50 split. So you have 50 Kuriya and 50 Monday come up every week, and all youngsters. So all of them turn up, and I'm talking English professionals, whatever, everyone together, college, uni, where they were, they all would come. And what would happen is, because they were of the same, similar background, age category, they could then relate to each other, thinking, okay, well, they're getting something from it, and it allowed us to answer their questions. You understand? This is exactly what it is.
But on the back of that, they came because they had a connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were connected to someone. And that's the key thing. So as we're talking about forums, this Friday's forum is on at the Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smadik in the lecture theatre at 6:30 p.m. and it is going to be led by Kaur, and she's going to be talking and discussing some of the issues that we face in the community, and one of them, which is a taboo issue, is mental health, and she's going to be talking about mindfulness this week. So Kiran, actually there's a quick promo, so if I show you the promo, then you can get engaged, you can see what is lined up for this Friday. We'll play the promo now, and then we'll come and discuss what we're going to be talking about at the forum.
So anyone can have mental illness regardless of gender, age, culture or religious background. And just some examples are depression, anxiety disorder, personality disorder, bipolar, OCD.
Okay, now you've just seen that promo, and what a fantastic effort is going into this Friday's mindfulness talk. So let's go to Kiran Kaur. Kiran, you've been part of Sikh Youth UK for about 6 months now, I'd say.
Yeah.
Okay, how did you get involved and what made you want to be part of the team?
So I kind of just contacted the Instagram page and kind of said, you know, I've got a mental health background within the profession and I'd really like to help people out, because you know the mental health side of it links in with the alcohol and drugs and the grooming cases.
Yeah, of course it does, and it's really important that we can, obviously when we're getting cases of grooming or alcohol and drugs, is having that right person there if there is mental health issues, or if there's any kind of, you know, signs and that we haven't spotted that you could maybe visibly spot. So it's really important to have people like yourself and the people around you that you know who are professionals in that field.
One of the things I would say, I think it's very important to tell the Sangha also, Deepa, is, and Kiran Penji, is look, what is mental health? Because there's going to be a lot of people out there right now thinking mental health ki cheez hai. I'm hearing it, I'm getting it in the workplaces and on the signboards. But mental health ki cheez hai. So I think if you could just quick give us a synopsis of what mental health, how it is, so it helps families sitting at home, sitting with their children thinking, you know what, that's true. Maybe I have seen somebody who's having those issues or could be having those issues. Number one, what it is, and number two, how to spot it, and then what can we do to help that individual. And I think this is where the key, and obviously your background and what your seva that you're doing comes in key. So just give us just a brief introduction of what is mental health in that respect, so people can refer to it.
So there's a main difference between mental health and mental illness. Mental health, we've all got mental health, just as we've got physical health. Mental illness, it can develop you know, like for a number of reasons. It could be biological, psychological, or environmental. So biological, you could kind of inherit it.
Okay.
Sometimes there's no like common gene that passes down, but you inherit it. Environmental, so that's kind of like, you know, say if your parents went through a divorce, that's kind of trauma related in a way as well. And psychological, that'd be mainly like sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, those kind of things, yeah.
And working with the organisation, how can you spread that awareness? Like, what have you done so far to do that, being as a volunteer?
So yeah, we made mental health leaflets. It kind of incorporates the Sikh ethos in it as well. And we handed them out at the Freshers' Fair. And I think we got quite good feedback on that, didn't we?
Yeah, there was a lot of feedback. Cabs, you were at the Freshers' Fair as well. You know, there was a lot of leaflets and prachar going out. How did you find that?
I thought it was brilliant, actually. The mental health leaflet was really well constructed, and a lot of people were picking them up as well, which is positive. And I think Benji was talking through it as well, which is helpful. I think that's the main thing as well. We can keep handing out leaflets, but it's about explaining as well with the leaflets.
And this is what Camp Baji was on about. How do we educate people now? So after the leaflets, what's the next steps?
So we've got the mindfulness session this Friday. I don't want to give too much away, but it's kind of a brain training technique where you just kind of take time out of your busy schedules and kind of just focus on what you're going through and your thoughts and feelings and acknowledge them, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you come on Friday, you'll be able to kind of learn more techniques on that.
Cam, any input on how important this is as an issue?
Yeah, definitely. I've unfortunately had to deal with mental health. It affects everybody. Even I've been through times where you can be, like you said, it's environmental, trauma related. It could be anything. A death in the family is major trauma, and mentally it can affect people. And people tend to change after death in the family, and it does. You like it or not, it has an impact on you. But we as a community seem to go on as we have generations, right? But sometimes, especially in this day and age, due to social media input and what others deal, you're then always in the mind thinking, am I supposed to deal it in this way? So am I dealing with it, or am I bottling it up in my head, or am I not doing anything with it? This is why it's good to talk. And as you can see, I get sponsored by BT probably, and I just approach me because I talk and I don't stop. So you know what I mean? So, but what it is the point is talking. So when you sometimes have a traumatic time, or you're going through a bad patch and you need to talk, when you talk, you feel better just after that initial talk.
You know, nothing's too small to talk about either.
Exactly.
You know, it could be the slightest thing. And, you know, and being a good listener as well. And
definitely.
Non-judgmental.
Yeah, this is what we encourage, and this is when we used to do the shows back in the day, and even in the forums that we used to do. We encourage it, and I'll encourage it again now to the someone who's watching. It is so important for the parents to have a strong relationship with your children. I am being so sincere, and I can't stress it enough that relationship between the parents and the children has to be strong. Your children need to be able to trust you, have that confidence to talk to you, because as soon as they have that problem, they can talk to you, and then you can offer the advice, the guidance without judging them. Don't get into this frame of judging people. Get away from that, because Marge is constantly telling us to stay away from that judgment. We're not supposed to be judgmental. So we're the next generation. Fine, our predecessors did what they did to do. They've done a fantastic job because they brought us to the reason, where we are now. Think about it. All the good that we got, all these platforms that we got, they've created that. But now for us, if we only can live up to our parents, if we now take it to the next level, where we now understand the problems that they had, understand the problems that we currently having, and what our children are going to have, right? And look into the future by looking in the past, right? And living in the now, we can then deal with it. This is how the mind needs to work.
Definitely.
And positivity is the key.
Positivity is key. Providing the solutions is that this is where we've always lacked. We've always reacted. Oh, this is happening to us. What should we do? We need to be more proactive and have the solutions in place. Workshops going on. Proactiveness is really fantastic that you got involved and do that. And other people, if you're out there and you find this an issue, or you think you've got a solution to this, the Sikh Youth team there, the Sikh channel's there, we will provide platforms for you. That's what we're there for. The Sikh Youth UK team's there to provide platform for yourself to any issues you have. we can address. And you know, that's your platform. You know, it's not my soul's platform, it's not our sisters or our brother's soul platform, it's your platform, the Sanghats. And if you have an issue and you think you can tackle it and have a wicked solution for it, bring it on board. If it's Bantik and anything to do with helping our community, 100% you'll have our full support and dedication.
Yeah, can I quickly add to this? I think it's important, while we're talking about the subject, it's important for the viewers to understand that mental health has a very dark side to it, a very, very dark side. And our Sikhi is talking about Chardi Kala, the upward spiral, always looking at the good, and being in high spirits. People that have fallen into depression due to mental health issues, due to environment trauma, whatever it might have been, biological, whatever it might be, they're going on a downward spiral. Unfortunately, it's harder to run down a hill than up. You understand? So when a person's falling, they fall faster. And if there isn't mechanisms in place to stop them falling at this point, the worst case scenarios are they then lead to depression, seclusion. They'll stay in the room on their own, away from antisocial. They become antisocial. They'll probably start drinking, probably drug related. Drugs might come into it. Worst case scenario out of all this is suicidal, and this is the back of mental health. This is how important this subject is.
Definitely.
This is why
it's not a minimum. Like you just skirted and said skirted around the edges. We've said just a few of the things that it could lead to. It is a massive issue, and a lot of it can be covered. And obviously, you're just starting, and it's at a small, and it's stepping stones.
That's it.
But you know what? It is one solution. And it is a way forward from the Prajad wise and getting people in. So if you need to get involved, please get in contact with our team. We can lead you in the right direction and get you part of that team under Kiran, who is leading the way on that, which will start. So just turn up this Friday at the weekly forum. The lecture theatre and mindfulness will be discussing some of the issues that go on there. Any other input, guys, on that, on the forum, the weekly forums, and how important they are for the Sangha to get involved in this, Kiran?
You know, like the first time I came, I loved it. You know, you just, because you're in a room with like-minded people, you just feel at peace, almost. Because there's so many stresses in our everyday lives, it's kind of a time to kind of sit back and relax and kind of talk to Sangha, you know.
It's true, you've worked hard all week. Some people who work, even university, you've had numerous projects. It's a good place just to come and take your mind off things, talk about issues, even, you know, if there's any frustrations going on in your life and the talks regarding that, then have some input yourself.
No, that's really important. So Fridays, keep every week there's a different forum. If you want to talk about a different forum and you want us to discuss an issue that you may be facing and you want to just come along, let us know and we'll fully support that. There's a few other things that we're going to be discussing today. The Ekta Smagam, we want to go and talk a bit more about that, and we want to talk about another project that Sikh Youth have got lined up, which is the music album, which is released next week, which is on the 25th.
Thursday.
So next Thursday, and there's a lot of great artists involved in this. Cabs, do you want to just give some of the Sanghats some updates on some of the artists involved and producers who have helped make this happen?
Yeah, so we got Singh Mahoon, who's helped us a lot. There's a music video as well coming out for the track Izzat. So that's going to be one to look out for. A lot of time and effort has gone into this album. A few of the guys behind the scene, Harpreet Jitta, some great producers they've done some good tracks. The vocalists as well, some up and coming vocalists, just look out for them. They're going to hit you by surprise. Some of the tracks are really good.
So you know, before we go any further with this, there's a short clip and it's going to play you some of the artists involved. It's got some of the songs, the singers, you know, it gives you a little insight into what's coming out next week and how much effort's gone in, because, you know, we were talking about forums and we're talking about Sangat and coming to the Gurdwara where it's a plug and it's a great vibe. Reaching out to the masses through media, through film is really, really important. So coming to produce this album called Izzat, first it started just one song, and then we thought, no, let's do the full shebang.
Yeah.
And we covered all the alcohol issues, the Izzat issues, female empowerment. How important is that?
Excellent.
To have female empowerment in there. There's a Banji called Jazz Sahota, she sang a song about Shaheed Singh Bibia, and it's wicked.
Brilliant.
You know, so there's so much effort gone into not just raising awareness on the issues, but you know, trying to empower those who may be are not part of Sikh, not in the Sikhi circles, and get them engaged. Why? Because we want to empower our future females. We need to empower females because there is a lack of females on the channels. There's always the Singhs, there's always the lads, and it's very rare. Like Kiran comes, some of the other females in our organisation do come, and we have a lot working behind the scenes, but not at the forefront. So what we wanted to do with the album was highlight how important female empowerment is in Sikhi. And you know, so let me just play this short clip to you guys, and then you get an insight into how fantastic this album's going to be.
Yo, big up the man them holding it down, the Sikh Youth UK. Sikh Youth UK.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. This is Singh Mahoon, and I'm very pleased to be part of this project with Sikh Youth UK called Izzat. It brings to light issues that are taboo subjects that no one really talks about, and people get left behind. These are Sikh people that are not being able to speak or talk about things that have happened to them. Ideas like grooming, like sexual harassment. This album brings it to light. Sikh Youth UK bring this to light. So everyone needs to support it when it comes out on the 25th of January. Talk it, Sajay.
I've been beast all night, memories not nice. They won't keep me light. I don't wanna live life. Snap it. I just don't want it to happen like it happened to her. So I'm at ends and I'm putting in the work. Bali on and through the house and get searched. If it turns out true, then I'm gonna get murked. Baby, chadni piri di do. Asi moni si hoye muttiara to. Hun nashe utte laate putt sikhan de. Asi mukke na mukaye hathiara to. Hun nashe utte laate putt sikhan de. Asi chukke na chikaye hathiara to. Hun nashe utte laate putt sikhan de. Tenu paisa sanu pind hai pyara. Koi ta munda bach lehn de. 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 Koi ta munda bach lehn de. Oh Singh soor mein. Singh soor mein meri nu ach thokad chale le. Singh soor mein meri nu ach thokad chale le. ऐसा ही नहीं सब कुछ धिया पुत बचा लइए ऐसा ही नहीं सब कुछ धिया पुत बचा लइए ऐसा ही नहीं सब कुछ धिया पुत बचा लइए
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. I'm Avneet Kaur. I'm very happy to be featured on the album with the Sikh Youth UK and Singh Mahoon. The album Izzat is out on the 25th of January. I hope you all support. Bibi chadni piri di dor ni sada kiye jor ni joda wale lehni challe bibi. Buy the album and support. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Now you've just seen that. How fantastic was that? 10 tracks produced on an album. You got the likes of girls from High Flyers on there, Tali Digital, Akaali Inc., you know, Jita, Harpi Jita, all the guys producing the music behind the scenes. You got singers like Nirmal Sidhu, Bakshi Billa, Manjeet Sohi, Rasal Singh, you know, Jazz Sahota, Manjeet Sohi, all of these fantastic artists and producers coming together to produce one album to help the community.
What I like about it as well, every song's different. Sometimes you buy an album, the songs sound similar. We've got different takes, grime, you know, a bit of Desi. So we've kept it nice, fresh for you guys to listen out to.
No, that's fantastic. It's really important. Cam, through music, how important is it to get Prachar out through music?
100% Prachar is so important. Music is a brilliant way to do it. Yeah, it's a wicked platform to do it. If you think about it, majority of where I got most of my Prachar back in the day was through Taddi Vara. So I used to listen to a lot of Taddi, and you listen to the songs of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Banda Singh Bahadur, Hari Singh Nalwa, Sukha Singh, Matab Singh, all these different things, Taru Singh, you name it. And with those Taddi Vara, you get the Sakhiyan, who they were, what they were about, what did they stand for. It inspired you, thinking, wow, that's your history. So this is to inspire you, to reconnect you to your roots, thinking this is where we come from, and then looking at where we're going is incredible. And that medium can either be used for positivity or it will be used for negativity. And as you can see, there are certain artists that will do certain songs that will lose that Izzat completely. Definitely. So therefore, this is why music is powerful, but how you use it is so key to use it positively.
It's really vital how, you know, like obviously these artists, some of them may be singing degrading songs to young girls, and we're trying to encourage Izzat on a respect back into the community, a bit of pride back into the Punjabi Sikh community, because there is a lack of that. You know, we are going away from our cultural ethics, our religious ethics, so it's really important that we engage people back to that through music. So obviously this is the start of the year, there are going to be other albums throughout the year, but you know, going on this album, talking about grooming, some of the lyrics that people have written on the songs that have been written on this, you know,
hard-hitting lyrics, talking about real issues that affect, you know, the younger Punjabi generation coming up, which is really important for the teenage. You know, when they go into school, they'll play these tracks and they'll listen, and because you got Singh Mahoon as well, who's rapping in English, they can relate to it as well, and I think it's going to be a hit.
Yeah, definitely. Kieran, any input? You know, how do you think music's important for females? You know, there's a song by Jazz Sahota who's talking about female empowerment and talking about Shahid Singh Bibia. How important is songs like that to engage the young females in the community?
I think it's really important because, you know, like, if I'm honest, I don't know that much about Sikh, and I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I think through the songs I can learn so much.
Of course you can, and it brings you to take on little points, and then say you learn, say a young female was named in the song, you might go and research on her and learn about her jeevani and how inspiring she was to the local villagers and the rest of the band. Cam, any input on this?
I think it's great what you're doing. I think other organisations have also done something similar, so it's fantastic that they're using best practices. This is what I was talking about earlier, sharing best practices of work. Music is a very powerful tool, is a brilliant medium to connect to, especially new generations. If you can translate a message in a rhythm that they're accustomed to, what else do you want? So you're giving them the empowerment. What you're talking about, empowerment, that's exactly what you're doing. You're empowering them to know, where did you come from? Who are you? Because to know who you are, you need to know where you come from.
100%.
Where did you know? What was your predecessors doing? What were your forefathers like?
Exactly.
Where are they? What were they about? And when you find out about your forefathers, who they were, what they stood for, what they're all about, you're thinking, wow, you know, that's where we come from. Where am I now? How do I need to get back there? This is the whole process. It starts that mechanism in the brain to seed. It puts a seed in your brain to think, okay, where do I want to go back? And that's why music, I'm back it. I think it's brilliant to do all projects where you're retrying to engage the youth reconnect them to their roots is powerful stuff, and I think it's brilliant when that realization takes place. It's like what you just said, Fajr said now about that message. So if you would, for example, I don't know, heard about Sharan Kaur, Bibi Sharan Kaur. Who's Bibi Sharan Kaur? She was the last Shaheed of Chamkaur Sahib. The Chamkaur Sahib, the Battle of Chamkaur Sahib, everyone knows about Maharaj and the Charlie Singhs, but the last one who actually attained Shaheedi in the Battle of Chamkaur was a Bibi, 16-year-old Bibi Sharan Kaur. She was the last one to attain Shaheedi because her husband in the battle attained Shaheedi. She was the one that when in the night, in the dead of night, collected all the bodies of the Singhs, put fire and then cremated them. Because that fire had started, the Mughals seen the fire, and when one of the patrols going to investigate where's the smoke coming from, and Bibi Sharan Kaur at the time was doing the Kirtan Sahullah. And when they saw her, this Bibi, she's obviously got a Sri Sahib and she's doing a part, she was the last Shaheed. They picked her up and chucked her into the funeral pyre. That was the last Shaheed of Battle of Chamkaur. It was a Bibi Sharan Kaur. No one knows that. Everyone heard of Hari Singh Nalwa. Everyone's heard of Hari Singh Nalwa, one of the greatest generals we've ever had. He's phenomenal. You look at how dangerous my man was. There is nobody that's come close to that. I'm telling you, on a different level. Singh rocked it hard, man. Seriously, no one could. Basically, I'll tell you how much of a general they were. No one's ever been able to attack from where they left. No, that attack's never come back from the west. Or attack नहीं उन्होंने किया हैगा. Hari Singh Nalwa, and one of the successes of Hari Singh Nalwa was a person behind it was Bibi Sharan Kaur, the one who took the information from one fort to the other. Do you know what I mean? Our Bibi, they've done it, and
they have a vital role,
massive role, massive role,
and that's the whole point of bringing this female empowerment from our organisation and from the album and even the film we did last year. So much through media, through music, we have to engage people and get them involved. Honestly, how important their roles are historically and to current day. So, you know, we're going to finish off the show. We've got the last couple of minutes. Let's just update on the Ekta Smargam, get the Sangat there. The CD will be available at the Ekta Smargam, so make sure you come along and support that efforts that's gone in from the Sikh Youth UK team. Purchase that, let everyone in your family and friend circle hear that as well at the same time. You know, just do the binti to the Sangat and get them there. Anyone who wants to be part of the Smargam, what can they do? How they, where is it? How they're going to come? What they're going to do? You know, how they're going to get involved.
I was going to say, I'll try to get the list of all. It's unbelievable. I'll see if I can get the list of all we're still live on TV. It's South Sangatilo, 27th of January, right? Is Ekta Smargam. We've got Jathe from all over the country coming, and even Sri Darbar Sahib Hazuri Ragi coming, and it's going to be Billa Nirmal Singh Ji, by Nirmal Singh Ji, Nagpuri. So they're all coming, yeah. So we got loads. You got local Kirtani like by Rajan Singh Ji, by Amandeep Singh Ji, by Hajara Singh Ji, Sukhjinder Singh Ji, Seek to Inspire. There Jatha, you got Taddi Singh's coming. You got Rasar Singh Taddi coming. You got all different Sukraj Singh Ji from Seek to Inspire, Basics Sikhi, Baljit Singh Ji doing Katha. So you got different people with different born here and they're all coming together, different organisations coming together. And this is what the old Ekta is about. It's a brilliant way to start 2018. If we start, like you said earlier, if we start on a positive,
100%.
Then hopefully we'll end on it on a positive, yeah? But not only that, what we're doing is, on that night, we're going to be doing, and this is important, the Sahaj Pata Pogs at 6 p.m, so 27th of January, Saturday at Guru Nanak Gurdwara in Smedik. Get there. Everyone has to come with your family, come with your friends. Come with those that you have a stronger relationship with. Simple as that. Why? Because on there, after the Sahaj Pata Pog, there's going to be Aarti Arta, there's going to be Kirtan, and then we're going to do one Chope Sada part in Santhya Sangat Roop. So everybody, even if you've not done Chope Sada before, will be given an opportunity to sit down in the congregation of the holy, in the Hazuri of the King of Kings, Tan Tan Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, and you will be able to partake in Gurbani. And when you experience that spiritual bond that connects all of us and enhance it, connect it, that's exactly what we want. And that is why we're asking for everybody to turn up. So it's the 27th of January, Saturday, Guru Nanak Gurdwara, Smedik. Be there 6 p.m. until late. We're going to have all these different Jathe coming down to the Kirtan, Tadi, Kavishari and Katha. But the most important part is the Chope Sada that we're all going to do together. in something which basically means that the Singh or Singhni and Tabia will lead and the congregation together will follow. So we're following our Guru and we're going to do it together. This is the most important bit, together, because all these different groups are going to be sitting on the floor together doing Gurbani. And this is what I say one last time, those that pray together, stay together. So this is, if you people talk about unity, let's have unity, let's have unity, here you go. We've organised it. You got 10 days, 27th of Jan, spread the word, bring those that you want to have a strong relationship with, because that's exactly what's going to happen from that day onwards.
Definitely. Last few comments before we end the show. Kabir Singh?
I just want to say, just look out for the album coming next week as well, and please do, if there are anything you feel you can help us with, the Sikh Youth UK team, then please get involved.
Definitely. Kiran Kaur, anything you want to add regarding this week's forum?
Yeah, please, everyone try and attend this Friday. Everyone's welcome, any age. Yeah, so we'll kind of teach you the skills to kind of cope with everyday life and your emotions.
Brilliant. Cam, last thoughts before we end the show?
Yeah, 27th of January, Saturday, 27th of January, 6 p.m. till late, Guru Nanak Gurdwara, make sure you're there. That's all I can say. I encourage all universities, different youth in different cities. If you see how many, you're going to start seeing the promo from today. The promo and the poster will be out today, and you see for yourself how many different organisations that will get involved.
Brilliant. We want to thank Sikh Channel again for giving us a platform each and every Wednesday, and we want to, obviously there's a lot going on at Guru Nanak Gurdwara Smarik, so you know, fantastic committee team working there who are giving the Naujawans and all these fantastic events and activities happen at the G&G plug, so this is fantastic. Make sure you keep attending, get involved, tune in each and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. for the Sikh Youth UK show.
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੋਹੀ ਸਿੱਖ ਯੂਥ ਯੂਕੇ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਇੱਕ ਗੀਤ ਰਿਕਾਰਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਤੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ, ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਬੋਲ ਨੇ ਹੋਏ ਅਸੀਂ ਮੁੱਕੇ ਨਾ ਮੁਕਾਏ ਹਥਿਆਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਤੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਝੁਕੇ ਨਾ ਝੁਕਾਏ ਸਰਕਾਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਹੁਣ ਨਸ਼ੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਲਾਤੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ। ਆਪ ਸਭ ਨੂੰ ਬੇਨਤੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਵੱਧ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਸਪੋਰਟ ਕਰਨੀ ਜੀ। ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਜੀ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਮਨਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਸੋਹੀ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ।
Yo, big up the man them holding it down, the Sikh Youth UK. I've been beast all night, memories not nice. They won't keep me like I don't wanna live life. Snap it on with right, pitching to the sound high.